called off all the activities associated with the Visit Nepal Year 2020, taking into account the global spread of novel coronavirus. The decision was bound to take place in the face of increasing global threat of the novel coronavirus that has brought tourist activities to a standstill worldwide. Good morning, I'm Amit Mackerel, and these are the top stories this hour. The government decides to call off all activities related to Visit Nepal Year 2020 in the face of novel coronavirus outbreak, to replace Lilamani Paudel with former Foreign Minister Mahendra Pandey as Chinese ambassador. Prime Minister Oli slated to undergo second kidney transplant at TU Teaching Hospital on Wednesday, to be admitted at the hospital today. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani says his government has not pledged to free Taliban prisoners, as stated in a deal reached by the US and the militants. And Real Madrid proved too good for out-rivals Barcelona, chalking out a 2-0 win in the El Clasico held last night. Real go 1 point clear at the top of La Liga. Let's begin with the national political updates. The government has decided to call off all the activities associated with the Visit Nepal Year 2020, taking into account the global spread of the novel coronavirus. The government has also decided to prohibit on-arrival visas to the tourists visiting Nepal from 7th of March onwards. Meanwhile, the cabinet meeting held late yesterday evening decided to call back Nepalese ambassador to China Lilamani Paudel within 15 days. The government has recommended the name of former Foreign Minister Mahendra Pandey as the new Nepalese envoy to China. Likewise, the government has decided to suspend the Sagarmatha dialogue until further notice, at a time when the world is gripped by the novel coronavirus epidemic. Meanwhile, the cabinet meeting has also decided to promote Joint Secretary Ek Narayan Aryal, while 5 other secretaries have been transferred. Prime Minister KP Oli is scheduled to undergo kidney transplant for the second time on Wednesday, 4th of March, at the capital's Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital. Prime Minister Oli has been suffering from kidney-related problems for quite some time now. He underwent kidney transplant surgery at Delhi-based Apollo Hospital 12 years back. He has been under regular medication ever since. Prime Minister Oli went to Singapore for the routine health checkup in the first and last weeks of August, where he went through the plasmapheresis treatment following the increase of antibodies in his kidney. As the problem recurred after some time, the Prime Minister has been on regular dialysis since the last week of October. Prime Minister Oli, during the Secretariat Committee meeting held at his official residence in Palwatar, informed that he will be admitted at the hospital today itself, while the transplant surgery will be performed on Wednesday.
त्यही बुधबार उहाँको मृगौलाको प्रत्यारोपणको काम शल्य चिकित्सा हुने योजना बनाइएको छ। जसअनुसार उहाँ भोलि नै त्यसको लागि अस्पताल भर्ना हुनुहुनेछ र त्रिवी शिक्षण अस्पतालमा उहाँको मृगौलाको प्रत्यारोपणको शल्य चिकित्सा गरिनेछ।
However, the identity of the donor has not been revealed. Although the hospital denied disclosing the name, it has been reported that one of the family members of the Prime Minister will donate kidney to him. A medical team, including senior nephrologist Dibya Singh Saha, is to attend Prime Minister Oli. However, the names of other doctors have not been disclosed yet. There has been growing interest among the public as Prime Minister KP Oli is undergoing kidney transplant surgery on Wednesday. According to the medical experts, over 95% transplant operations have been successfully carried out in Nepal. Our reporter Kripal Gautam has talked with senior nephrologist Rishi Kumar Kafle regarding the kidney transplant of the Prime Minister. We have experts.
डाक्टर साहब, प्रधानमन्त्री केपी शर्मा ओलीको बुधबार मृगौलाको प्रत्यारोपण हुँदैछ। यस्तोमा उहाँको यो दोस्रो प्रत्यारोपण हो। पहिलो पटक प्रत्यारोपण गर्दा र दोस्रो पटक प्रत्यारोपण गर्दा के फरक हुन्छ डाक्टर साहब?
दोस्रो पटक प्रत्यारोपण गर्दा पहिलो प्रत्यारोपणपछि खाइएका औषधिहरू लामो समयसम्म सेवन गरेको त्यसले शरीरमा प्रभाव पारेको हुन्छ। अर्कोतर्फबाट शरीरले त्यो बानी परिसकेको हुन्छ, त्यस्तो औषधि खाने बानी परिसकेको हुन्छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि दोस्रो प्रत्यारोपण सजिलैसँग गर्न सकिन्छ र दोस्रो प्रत्यारोपण पनि सहजै राम्रोसँग जान्छ र गएका प्रशस्त उदाहरणहरू चाहिँ प्रशस्त छन्।
हामीले बुझ्दाखेरि पहिलोभन्दा दोस्रो झनै सजिलो हो त?
केही रूपमा सजिलो हो। किन सजिलो हो भनेदेखि चाहिँ उहाँको सबै वस्तुस्थिति सबै तयार भएर शरीरले ती औषधि खाँदाखेरि के हुनसक्ने भन्ने कुरा बारेमा पहिलेमा थाहा थिएन भने अहिले सबै कुरा चेक गरेर गरिसकिएको परिस्थितिमा र अगाडि पनि जुन गरिएको हुन्छ भनेपछि करिब करिब पहिलो र दोस्रो उस्तै भन्नुहोस् न। प्रत्यारोपण ओहो दोस्रो गर्दा त धेरै जटिल भनेर भन्नुपर्ने स्थिति छैन।
The commercial banks have started reducing the interest rates provided to depositors after being unable to collect the anticipated profits. However, the move is likely to worsen the liquidity crisis with a drastic decline in savings. Following liquidity crisis in the previous fiscal year, the commercial banks resorted to competition and increasing deposit interest in a bid to attract more savings from customers. Some of the banks increased the interest rates up to 14% on personal deposits. However, in the pretext of maintaining uniformity in the interest rates, the banks reached an agreement to limit the interest rate to 6.5%. At the same time, some of the prominent commercial banks have recently decreased the interest rate to 5%. According to Nepal Rashtra Bank, the current inflation rate in the market is 6.8%. As per the basic banking and marketing rules, the deposit interest should be higher than the inflation rate. Otherwise, customers are discouraged to deposit their money in banks, while the general consumers too are forced to bear the brunt of it. The bank operators, however, have claimed that they were forced to decrease the interest rates for depositors due to the persistent lack of growth in the overall deposits. Experts are of the view that the move is bound to worsen liquidity crisis in the banking sector. The stock market saw yet another record-breaking transaction yesterday as the trading amount exceeded 4.84 billion rupees. This is the highest transaction amount so far in the Nepalese stock market on the first day of the trading week. Earlier on Thursday, the stock market recorded 4.46 billion rupees of transactions. A total of 12.51 million shares of 183 companies were traded yesterday. However, the stock index NEPSE tumbled down by 40.82 points to settle at 1,591.36 points. NMB Bank recorded the highest transaction of 266.3 million rupees, followed by Global IME Bank with 258 million rupees, 5 million rupees. Apart from the finance groups, all other 11 subgroups saw negative trading. Life Insurance Group was the highest losers with 474 points down, followed by Non-Life Insurance with 322 points and Microfinance Group with 90 points. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the residents of Solukhumbu district what could be the major reason behind the decline in quality of community schools education. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
पाठ्यक्रम एउटा हुनु पर्यो। यहाँ चाहिँ राज्यले नै शिक्षा दुई प्रकारको शिक्षा को नीति लिएको छ।
व्यवस्थापक अर्थात् चाहिँ कुशल प्रधानाध्यापककै चाहिँ कमी कमजोरीले गर्दा पनि हुन सक्छ।
शिक्षा गुणस्तर हुन चाहिँ वास्तवमा लगानी चाहिन्छ। अब अभिभावकको तर्फबाट लगानी आफ्ना छोराछोरीको निम्ति ग्रामीण क्षेत्रमा गर्न सकिरहेको अवस्था छैन। राज्यले चाहिँ विद्यालयलाई र शिक्षकहरूलाई तलब भत्ता मात्र दिएको छ भने निशुल्क शिक्षाको नाममा बालबालिकालाई पाठ्यपुस्तक बाहेक उनीहरूले केही पाएका छैनन्।
कम्युनिटीले व्यवस्थापन समितिले यानी कि शिक्षकले व्यवस्थापन गर्न अलिकति नसकेको हो कि
संस्थागत विद्यालयहरूको जुन एउटा क्राइटेरिया छ त्यो क्राइटेरियाभित्र हामी छिर्न नसक्दाखेरिको अवस्थामा साँच्चै सामुदायिक विद्यालयको गुणस्तर खस्केको छ।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why has Nepal continued to rely on foreign countries on even the seeds of crops and festivals? And options are A, inadequate production, B, import-oriented policy, and C, sluggishness of Agriculture Ministry. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B, or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now the sports update.
Sports news.
Real Madrid defeated their arch-rivals Barcelona 2-0 in the El Clasico match late last night to secure their spot at the top of La Liga. There was little to separate them at the Santiago Bernabeu in the first half as the sides went into the break goalless. But second half strikes from Vinicius and Mariano sealed the first victory in 8 Clásicos for Los Blancos. In the 71st minute, Vinicius Jr. broke the deadlock scoring with the help of a minor deflection. Meanwhile, 50 seconds after coming off the bench, Mariano followed suit regarding his first goal of the season in grand style. It was the 26-year-old's first appearance and first shot of the season. It's now advantage Real in the title race as they are a point clear of the Catalans with 12 matches remaining this season. Zinedine Zidane's men remain on track to lift the title for the first time since 2017. It's time now for our special segment, Off the Beat.
An old-age shelter home in Musikot of Rukum West, constructed at a cost of 5.5 million rupees, has remained unused. The old-age home was built in a piece of land donated by local philanthropist Gokarnagiri. Due to the non-use, the shelter home has now become dilapidated. The old-age home was constructed through a joint effort from the then District Development Committee and the Office of Women and Children and the Musikot municipality over 10 years ago. A number of furniture owned by the old-age home has also been lost. Local residents have now started demanding for the reopening of the shelter. There is a lack of high schools in the remote Goshora village of Doramba rural municipality in Ramichap, denying local students here from higher studies. Shivalingeshwar School in Goshora village has a provision for education up to 10th grade. However, there are no schools in the village that can run curriculum for education above grade 10. The local parents have somehow managed to provide education to their children up to grade 10, but have not been able to manage education for them above that. The poverty-stricken families cannot afford to send their children outside the village for higher education. This has led to the young students to seek job opportunities to support their families once they have passed out from grade 10. Meanwhile, a few parents with better economic background have also been sending their children outside the village and even in the capital Kathmandu for higher education. This is Abhyuday Shrestha for Off the Beat and Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day.